Pick a card. Why are you intimidating? Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading.
Okay.
Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I hope they find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, my babies, I am so grateful to you. Thank you so very much for your encouragement and all the things. Pile number 1. What is intimidating about you? So we're about to find out. Now, it's interesting because my brain went burp. Second time I tried to actually film this video today for you. And I actually hit a mental flatline, which was kind of weird because I was totally raring to go and ready for it, that kind of a thing. But we're going to find out in a minute. Oh, you know what? I feel like when people come across you, but you know what I'm talking about. Like people meet you or people even that know you. I feel like they could be quite speechless. They could have like some itinerary or some idea of what they want to say, or even like a script that they kind of loosely pen out in their brain, right? It's a thing, by the way. And when they come across you or they meet you or they're face to face, they're like, wait, what? What was I going to say? And they just are lost for words. That's one thing. So I feel like your aura, your mannerisms, okay. I feel like a lot of you guys also, pile number 1, you can be very direct, okay? And I feel like that's very intimidating because instead of being like, oh, he, you know, you're kind of like, okay, what's up? Yeah, what do you want? That kind of a thing. And I feel like people are really used to, in this day and age especially, pile number 1 of people, I heard pussyfooting around, okay? So I hope I don't get flagged for that because the algorithm be algorithming crazily out here sometimes. Yeah. The card that came out for you is a card number 30 with love and heart. Pile number 1. I definitely feel like you could be somebody that's incredibly intimidating to people. Yes. Okay. I was hoping this would come out again. And the number 13 with fortune and horseshoe, because actually that was the very first card that came out when I originally started to film this reading, and then I had to reset and refilm again. But here we are, and I feel like, well, first of all, the number 13 with the death card, right, in the traditional tarot, this one talks about fortune and horseshoe. And the death card, I feel like, is like very scorpionic, very like no messing around, but very much like I have my own secrets kind of a thing. So you could be very much like a Scorpion, or you could have Scorpion predominant in your chart. I'm Scorpio rising, woo woo. Anyways, I love me some Scorpio, but Scorpio and Leo, apparently we don't go well together. It's like oil and vinegar. And I will say that because of those dynamics, and I have the heart card right here, pile number 1, I feel like people can fall madly in lust with you, but also madly obsessed with you. So you could be my pile where you could be doing things or whatever, and then somebody sees you and then they want to know like, hey, what are your deets? What's your Insta? I guess that's what you guys are all about, right? It ain't my world, let me tell you. It's like if somebody asks my Insta, I'm like, Insta noodles? I don't know. No, I just don't like Instagram, okay? That's just the real deal right there. But I feel like you're incredibly intimidated because you are very much like to the point, concise, and you could be a little bit like scary is what I'm hearing, but in a very hot wonton kind of a way. Maybe you have a quirky sense of humor. Pile number 1, I feel like sometimes you confuse people because I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, like a wonton, but I said wonton, like the food, right? So maybe you could have like a quirky sense of humor where people don't know if it's okay to laugh, or if like you're serious, or if they should be scared, or if they're like turned on. And I feel like you're a little bit of a mixture of all the above, right? So pile number 1, why are people intimidated by you? You have heart. And I feel like what you get impassioned by, like passion, whatever it is that makes your heart just go, could be a little bit intimidating because maybe you can talk about it for hours, or maybe you have a lot of knowledge about it. With the number 30, it reduces to a 3. So maybe perhaps this could be having to do with like the way that you collaborate and cooperate with other people, other entities, other businesses, other tarot readers. I don't know what you do right here, right? And if you want to share, go ahead. Feel free to share. Details below. That's great. But pile number 1, I feel like you're intimidating because you could be very direct. You could have like this intense eye contact and you're like, okay, what do you want? Like, let's get going. Let's get it popping. Let's do whatever, all the things. And people are like, so they get speechless. Okay. And let's find out what else we have here. Sorry, I got distracted because I smell the incense and usually it goes out by now. So I'm like, okay, we're turned on. We, pile number 1, are turned on about thee. Okay, so people can be really turned on by you. One moment, please. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Lights, camera, action. All right, so pile number 1, I definitely feel like with the number 31 right here, that is indicating that you have this ability to be very, very stable because it reduces to 1. And maybe you're kind of like an emperor or empress, right? You have an ability to kind of come across as like, this is the way it is. And you're the one that, like, when people walk into, like, let's say your place of business, and they're going to walk up to you and go, oh, hey, I just wanted to let you know. And you're like, yeah, you need to talk to your manager about that. And they're like, oh, I thought you were the owner. I thought you were the manager. So you have that energy. You carry that boss energy. Boss babe. Boss guy. Guys are babes too, by the way. So, and also the fact that you trust yourself, that you're not going to allow yourself to be led by the nose or bamboozled by anything around you. I feel like you have a real strong propensity for like discerning bad character and things like that. Like you can smell a rat coming a mile away. If somebody comes towards you with bad intention, ill intention, or if they have like an emotive, an angle, if they want to put a spin on whatever it is that they're going to come and talk to you about, you're like, yeah, I'm not having it. I already know. So go ahead and tell me, you know. So pile number 1, even I am actually intimidated and turned on right now by you. So let's see what's going on right here. Why are you intimidating? We have defend to the end, the worthwhile. Wow, defend to the end. Yeah, you're incredibly sharp. You're astute. It could be said about you that maybe you're connected to the other world, to the other realms. And maybe perhaps people even talk about how you are connected to such wisdom and it seems like it's foreign. Not only even foreign, but it's alien, not even alien, but otherworldly, that kind of a thing. So pile number 1, I feel like that is a large part why people are intimidated by you. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit fun. I feel like also your friends that are like real friends that I don't like to say ride or die because you know what, though, at this point in my life, you get to a certain age where you're kind of like ride or die. I've done enough of that. You know, I'm like ride or die, go ahead, because I ain't going to ride or die for nobody. But for the rest of y'all, I feel like if you have ride or die friends and things like that, and you know what I'm talking about, and in a good way, they're the kind that they're going to be there together forever kind of a thing. They love this about you, how you intimidate people, how they're kind of like, well, I'm going to stick pile number 1 on you. And you're like, what? So pile number 1, why are you intimidating? And I have the 5 of Cups. Now, most of us know this card. The 5 of Cups is like being left in the dark, being left kind of on red, being left behind. That could be a thing too. And this 5 of Cups talks about like how feeling sorrow and feeling sadness for the good time. So you are quick to take back your energy, I feel. And that's why you are not only an asset, I feel like you're just the whole vibe. You are the leader. You are the one that people just don't want to mess with, but they want to mess with, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, also your cutoff game is strong. Like, I feel like people know that you're not one to be played with or messed with. And it might be like, fool me once, I'll shank you. That kind of a thing. I can't say that. I didn't say that. Anyways, pile number 1, wisdom. What I tell you, you guys are really incredibly wise. And I feel like there's a lot to be said about you and your wisdom and the way that you come across. And I feel like once upon a time, maybe you were really incredibly misunderstood, or people didn't believe you, or didn't really quite understand or comprehend what was going on with you, or how you had this like knowledge. Yes. But they've come to understand that you have undergone some major transformations in your life. Now, somebody who is reborn from literally like nothing, from dust, from rubble, from maybe you've had to like resurrect yourself out of the dirt. Maybe you've been somebody who had like relationships that left you completely like leveled and destitute. Like, I'm talking emotionally. It could have been, you know, financially and in the 3D world too, but I'm talking about these relationships or these things, right? in your life that left you just leveled to the place where you felt like you could not wake up, you couldn't get up, you couldn't even like even personal hygiene could have been like a real struggle. But I feel like you have overcome so very much, and that strength doesn't come about by a book, and it doesn't come about by DNA necessarily, and it's just by, oh, my parents were strong and that's how I'm a migrant worker and I just came here and I'm third generation and and this is how I learned. These are things where you learned the hard way, school of hard knocks. You done graduated, you done reevaluated the school, and you're kind of like, let's kind of redo things a little bit differently. And the school could have been like pushed back. Oh, well, we've always, and you're like, the hell you will. From now on, it's going to be my way. Because you know what? I feel like in the end, you're very intimidated because you are a protector of people. And people get intimidated by this, that it's almost like if they have ill intent for like friends or the people around you, or the people, I'm picturing like a mother hen, people under your wing. It's going to be too sad for them, pile number one. They're going to have to go through you first. You're kind of that force and that energy, and that is very admirable. I feel like you're also the one that you're the underdog that once you get leveled or something happens, and I'm thinking the story of like Lupita. If you guys are on like TikTok or Instagram, I don't know if it's on Instagram, TikTok or whatever right now, Lupita, who unfortunately, lost her life, and she was a girl that supposedly fell into the canal, and she was with 3 friends, right? Friends. They weren't friends of hers. And then she came up missing, and her parents didn't even know she was like missing for 15 hours. Does that sound like a friend of you? Anyways, I feel like you're the one that you would be like that mom. You would be out there speaking out, and you would be like, you know what, this isn't, for nothing, for clout or for whatever. This is to help the people, to help my daughter, to help my children. And I feel like you take up causes like that in your heart, and God help anybody who crosses you is what I'm going to say, because you are about to set them straight. And it's very intimidating because, yeah, that's where the heart ties in right now. I'm all excited because it tied in. But anyways, you get the point. It's like the heart ties in because you have a passion, a desire, and you feel this. And I feel like if something gets in your feels, gets you in your feels, it's like, everybody watch out, because you're going to make something out of it, like something even bigger than what it was before. Yeah. So pile number 1, if you're indeed liking these kind of readings, please do take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, go ahead and find my email in the description box below. And it's 1 question for $25 and $89 for full reading. Also, if you like Cash App me, thank you, by the way, if you Cash App me today, I really appreciate that. And if you wanted a reading, do make sure that you combine your message with your payment. Yeah. But otherwise, I'm so grateful. So pile number 1, why are we intimidated? Why are you intimidating? Let's see what's going on here. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. And the other card was a sword suit. Okay. Because so you have this ability to do the homework. You have the ability to balance things out, and you can juggle things. You're like, you know what, though, I could be like, I could be a mom. I could be a student. I could be like a worker. I could be a wife or a husband, or I could be, I could be a trainer. I could be all the things, right? I look psychotic there for a minute. But anyways, when you have this like passion project, it's almost like you are a little bit, I'm going to say a little bit off. And I'm calling myself that, by the way, because when I get in passion, I get in the zone. I'm like, I don't even care. I don't even care how I look, if I look psychotic or crazy or like whatever. It's like I am passionate by this one thing. So I feel like that's the main reason why you guys are intimidating. And you know what, though? Good for you, because I feel like this world needs a cause, and they need somebody to step up, and they need somebody to rustle it up and smack people and go, hey, are you paying attention? Like, this is really okay with you and you don't care. Moving on. Pile number 1, the Prince of Swords wanted to be seen. This is a sword suit that I saw before I went on a tangent. So I feel like you could be somebody who is quick to communicate. You're quick on the draw. You are sharp with your words. You do not mince with words either. And people could want to like take cover, but they want to be around. If you're going to strip somebody down with your words, if you're going to read them their rights, they want to be about that life, but only on the side behind you. They want to be behind you, applauding you and going, yeah, what he said. Yeah, what she said. What pile number 1 said. Yeah, what you got to say now? Nothing. And the last card, this is kind of a fun card. It is a new deck, new to me anyways. It is a used deck that I found, and I just thought it might add a little bit of razzle dazzle. I am empowered by happiness. Happiness is balance. Yeah. Pile number one, I definitely feel like you look at the fiery wings right there. You're like one of those like Hell's Angels where you like stand up for the kids' rights and you like escort people to their, you know, the victim to the court cases and things like that. You are the one that you stand for the people. Again, humanitarian vibes all the way. Yeah, I love this for you. I feel like, I don't know, it kind of, maybe it's my pile because I feel like I resonated with it. But let me know, you guys, what you guys think. Otherwise, that's all I have for you right now. Much love. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Crystal with FL Tarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, why are you intimidating? If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful, or at the very least, something that's very encouraging. And for those of you that are indeed my repeat offenders, my babies, thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful to have you. I'm grateful to be creating a tribe and like people are vibing and feeling it, and you have a safe space where we can talk and chat and read cards and laugh and do all the things. So pile number 2, why are you intimidating? Well, we about to find out. Now this deck, we're not going to take it in reverse, okay? Just because. So why is pile number 2, why are you intimidating? Okay, somebody here is, I'm talking to somebody who can hear things on repeat quite a bit. You might hear things in your head. You might listen to music over and over again. You might like to even hear like the same verse. I don't know your life, right? That kind of a thing. So you could have a little bit of a touch of like autism. And I mean, hey, I'm all for it. Good for you. We welcome all. So we have, what is this? Lightness and feather with the number 23. 23 reduces to 5. And then the lightness and the feather just reminds me of like the scales, right? Where you have the scales and it's like, which weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of rocks? You know, and people are like, what? Is that really how that goes? No. But I think also pile number 2, it's that you could move very light. You could be very lighthearted. You could also, when I think of people that are light at heart, right? They're just really transparent and they're really just them. And I feel like you're incredibly authentic. Sometimes perhaps you can say things that make people feel uncomfortable. Guilty as well. But pile number 2, we have creation with the spider. Now, when I see the spider, I always think of like creativity. I think of things that you're doing. It is a number 22. You could be seeing 222 and number 22 could mean something to you. You could be 22 years old. But look at all the networking going on. Look at all the detail that this spider has dedicated in order to like create this like beautiful web in hopes that some little creature, unbeknownst to them, might kind of land into it and they might have a juicy little meal to wrap up, right? To wrap up like a little sorullo or a little, that's like a Puerto Rican like fried fritter. I don't know what it's really called. I guess that's what it would be called in English. They're really good though. So pile number 2, you're intimidating because you have this ability to like lay out a web or spread your magic. I feel like whatever creation you can, whatever you create with your hands, you kind of throw the net out like a fisherman and you slowly like reel it in. And people can't help but be caught up in it. They're kind of like, well, I know this is a net, but it's kind of comfortable. And I know I'm being pulled towards a spider, but that's kind of hot. And I know I might get in trouble and I might get wrapped up like a sorullo and I might get eaten, but it might be worth the risk, that kind of a thing. So I feel like there's something about you because I started with like, I heard, hello, are you home? That one TikTok sound, it's a song actually, but superhero, something like that. Oh, mom and dad. Yeah, that one. And it's like the repeating rhythm. So it could be that you put people in a trance, in a spell. And it could be very intimidating because it's like, oh yeah, I don't even know what I was thinking when I was around pile number 2. I just kind of found myself like busting out with my credit card, and all of a sudden I was paying for the whole meal for everybody. And because I was around pile number 2, or it could be you're intimidating because you're like so engaging. Something about you kind of captivates and it captures attention. Also, again, the art. So you could be like an artist or an artiste. Like I consider myself more an artiste because, you know, talent is something that it's just different. Just different. I have a talent for putting things together, but not making things necessarily. So primordial and water with a number 37. And I don't know if you can see this, but there are like some hands right here, like in the center, like letting go of water. And so I feel like you could be, yeah, you could be like very upfront, very much like if you feel something, you're going to tell somebody like, this is how I feel. Or if you're in a group setting, you could be that one that you're like, well, that just kind of makes me feel a certain way. Or you could even, if you're in your feelings, you could be that one that you will cry. And once upon a time, I had a friend, and she had the most beautiful, I'm not even kidding, ebony skin, beautiful, gorgeous skin. And the reason why that's important is, I'll tell you this, it's because she would be talking and she would be telling you, like one time she was leaving her kindergarten students. One moment, please. And she was moving for a different job. And they made her little presents, you know, as they're going away. Sorry. And she was telling us about it, but she would just like cry. She would not ugly cry like me, but she would pretty cry. And her tears would just drip down her face. And she was just like, she was in her emotion. But it was so stunning, I couldn't even look away. Beautiful skin, beautiful person. But anyways, you could be somebody like that. Like you could be so stunning that people can't look away. And I'm talking not just aesthetics, but it could be texture of your skin. It could be how beautiful you are, that you don't have shame associated with crying and things like that, right? And that could be very intimidating. Sorry, I'm all choked up. Sorry, y'all. Some of you guys are going to get mad because I was coughing, but listen. I'm only human. Of flesh and blood. I hate that song, by the way. I don't own the rights in that song. I'm only human. So maybe perhaps people get intimidated because that song talks about I'm only human of flesh and blood. And then she goes, oh, how does it go? Please forgive me. I can hear it vaguely, but anyways, now I can't even think of the words. But it basically talks about like I was human too. Like they both cheated. I'm like, well then get over it. Then get over it. Why even talk about it? It just pisses me off. Listen, that's like a very hot topic for me. I'm like, if you're gonna even wind up, then why even say you're monogamous? Keep it pushing. So angry. Maybe you have a temper like I do, or maybe it's just passion. I don't know. Release the dark wound. Let love live. Oh my gosh. I'm only human, of flesh and blood. Please forgive me. The tears I cry aren't tears of pain. They're only to hide my guilt and shame. I forgive you. Now ask the same of you. While we were apart, I was human too. So that's how I feel about that. But anyways, moving on. Hopefully I won't get flagged for that. Sacred Fool. So I'm just going to say, pile number 2, release the wound, let love live. And that's really hard to say, let love live, right? Let love live. And it could be really that you have a ripple effect, that when you open up your heart and you're like, you know what, this really hurt me. Like when I was cheated on, I was really hurt. And, you know, like understandably, because they were lying about it. But I'm going to say that pile number 2, like people get really obsessed with you, and it's very intimidating because it's like they don't even know what's going to happen once they get obsessed with you. They're intimidated to like come clean and try to tell you the truth about what they've been doing, that kind of a thing. But they want to take a chance You could be the one that you're like a dominatrix or a dom. You could be that person that, pile number 2, you could wield a whip. You're intimidating because people would love to be whipped by you. I don't know. This is getting really dark. Listen, people get really obsessed with you, and it could be very intimidating. It's like, you know what? If somebody's going to stomp me out, I want pile number 2 to do it. And they're like, hee, hee, hee. Just kidding. But, you know, that kind of a thing. So it could be like a kink. I feel like, look, before you think it's all in my mind, look at the feet. People want to look at the soles of your feet. People get upset. This isn't like obsessive. Hello. But people are intimidated by you because people get obsessed with you. Maybe even like you're intimidating to date because they know that people are obsessed with you already. And they're like, well, is this going to work? Am I going to have other competition even though you agreed that, bae, you and I can be a thing or whatever? Bring it into form. Man, look at that. And also, I'm going to say that when you leave a situation, whether it's a relationship or whatever, when you leave a situation, you leave for good. And it's almost like you're running, and I picture this person like in the buff, running in the rain. Yeah. And I feel like every step, why are all these songs coming through? Every step you take, I found you. No, I saw you and him walking in the rain. Look at my Cruella de Vil brows. You guys, sorry, I got distracted. Anyways, listen, free from judgment and free to love. This is all about like freeing yourself to love, being your most authentic self. This is you telling people, you know what though? Yeah, you're coming to life. And I feel like it's very intimidating because you're like, you will reveal the things, the wounds that really, really hurt you. And you're like, you know what though? I'm a rub salt in my own wound. Why? Because I can. And why? Because I can share. And why? Because I'm healing, or I've healed because of, these things or from these situations. So you could be a little bit rough around the edges. You could be, you take people to task. Like you just don't accept, this is a reason why, or this is like a lame ass excuse for whatever. You're the one that people are going to go to, and they want your advice. They want your opinion. They want to be around you. They want to date you. They want to love you. But they want to know also like what made you kind of so abrasive, so hardcore, that kind of a thing. It's giving me like hot vixen, but I'll beat you down capabilities, kind of a vibe. I don't know. Moving on. So pile number 2, that went dark really fast. You're welcome. Pile number 2, why are you intimidating? The 7 of Cups, because you have options. What's hiding behind that? 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Are you guys seeing a lot of 7? 7 is a very spiritual number. So pile number 2, you're intimidating because you have a lot of options, because you can create your own opportunities. This isn't just options. These are opportunities, and people damn well know it. And they're like, well, what do I have to offer? Pile number 2, I could better come with something solid, right? That's what they be thinking. And then last but not least, pile number 2, we have the 7 of Swords. Wait, I got to give you one more card. 7 of Swords is because you make your moves quietly. You don't be telling Tom, Dick, and Harry what you're doing. Or Jane, Janet, and Margaret. You don't tell them what you're doing. You do your own thing, and they find out when it's convenient for you. They find out, if at all. And that's a lot of power right there for you. Pile number 2. Why are you intimidating? If you weren't here for pile number 1, this deck is brand new, only to me. I found it at a Goodwill or secondhand store, who knows where. But I love cards like that too. What? Look, fear. You are fearless. You're like, fear? I might be scared, but we're going to burn that biatch. We're going to do it. So I feel like you confront things head on. You don't tiptoe around. You don't allow your fear to kind of override your logic, and you don't allow your fear to like dictate what it is that you're going to be doing. So that is what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Until next time. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm watching you. And also, if you would like a private reading, it's $25 for 15 minutes, or it's going to be $89 for a regular reading, about 45. So that's all I have. You got extra kisses. Until next time, namaste. welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that's helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys who are indeed my babies, my repeat offenders, I am so grateful to have you here. Thank you so very much for all your comments, your likes, your orders, your donations. I am really grateful. So pile number 3, sorry. My brain. Pile number 3, what is intimidating about thee? Now, in this deck, we're not taking reversals, okay? So let's find out what's intimidating about thee. I heard it's always the quiet ones we need to look out for. And also that you've been highly underestimated, pile number 3. People don't even really know you. And then all of a sudden they look at something you did and you're like, you were an engineer? I don't know what I thought you did, but you, that kind of a vibe. Or you're a teacher and knowing that teachers are so freaking smart, by the way, way underrated. So people misunderstand you. And it says culmination. Well, that's fitting. With a full moon, the number 5 is on deck right now. Pile number 3, I definitely feel like you could be somebody who's really in touch with your intuition. You will pivot, bob, weave. I'm getting in my brain, Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Maybe you like boxing. You could be intimidating because of your moves. Maybe you're 23. Somebody could be 23. Lightness and feather. Float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, baby. And also, you could be coming from pile number 2. This talked about weighing the heart, okay? The scale. And you have a very, like, light heart. Very pure heart is what I mean by light heart, okay? Not lighthearted, like, whatever. You're very pure at heart. And whatever it is that you love, whoever it is that you love, it's very transparent. And it's very apparent. And people don't have to guess with you. And let me tell you, if you think that that's not freaking intimidating for people that have, like, what do you call it? Attachment issues, like, what do you call it? I'm getting like attachment abuse, reactive abuse, but attachment styles. Avoidant attachment style, Griselle. Thank you. And things like that, you know? So I feel like that's incredibly intimidating if you're like very direct and you're like, you know what, if you said somebody, pile number 3, if you sit down, you're like, you know what, I have love for you. I'm all smiling. But if you said that to somebody and you just like with that intensity, they would crumble. They would be like getting all kind of nervous and shifty. And I feel like pile number 3, you could be my pal there. Maybe you don't date a lot, if ever. You could be celibate. I don't know your life. For some of you guys, you are. Or you're very choosy. You're picky with whom you share your body with, right? And I have horns and I have integrity with the number 41. Yeah. So I'm going to go with my background. So in Puerto Rico, we say te están poniendo los cuernos. Like, in other words, they're putting horns on you like this, right? They're putting horns, devil horns, meaning they're cheating on you. So I feel like people could be intimidated by you because maybe they're afraid that you might cheat on them or something like that. Or you might find out because your intuition, you're so tapped in. You might know and you might find out, and that might be a huge release, right? Knowing that you're in connection with someone, and especially if you, pile number 3, if you're like, I'm all in, you mean it. People are intimidated by you because you mean what you say. And you don't have to be like flowery with your words or saying a lot. You know, you don't have to do a lot of extra. I feel like you could just look at somebody and go, you know what, I really have feelings for you. I really care for you. I really like to go out with you, or any of those things. But the way that you say it could be one simple sentence. And they're like, damn. I'm just kidding. Anyways, pile number 3, I don't know where that came from. Vitality in the sun. Look, I feel pile number 3 that you could be very, very intimidating because you have a lot of admirers with the number 38, right? You could have been born in March. You could have been born in August. With the sun, you could have a lot of vitality to you. You could be somebody that whenever you go, it's like the spotlight. It's right on her. And then I'm getting that Kanye West flashlight. Listen, don't hate on my Kanye, okay? Don't do it. Just don't do it. Moving on. And by the way, yeah, I'm going to say it because you're pile number 3 and here we are, pile number 3. You guys can be intimidating because you're my conspiracy theorist. Maybe you're like very direct with that. You're like, you know what, Kanye, the Ye before is not necessarily the one that we see now. They did something to him. That ain't the right one. I'm just saying he way taller. How do you come back taller? And plus he said, if I ever disappear, you know, and come back, that ain't me. And then he married that chick. What was her name? Bianca, whatever. And then they got weirder. Like he was always weird, but eccentric weird, like to the point where he was right weird. He was like, he would say stuff and you're like, dang, like you knew. People know you mean business. And I feel like you could be the same way or similar. Perception and Jaguar with the number 24. Yeah, for some reason I get like, all of you guys have like real intensity about you. And it could be honestly like if you're on this channel, you're hate watching and that's fine. It's a, can you just like the channel anyways if you're hating? Just kidding. It's a view, honey. It's a view. or you're indeed resonating with me. You're on the same wavelength, or you be nosy and that's still a view. It doesn't make a difference. But I feel like you could be, you know, like, I feel like you're all intense. All of you guys are intense driven. Maybe you're hyper intense. And I don't know what is that? Is that like a character thing or like a thing? I don't know. What is it? But I feel like I've been intense like most of my life and I try to, you know, because I just do better with not saying anything. I'd rather not saying anything and move on my merry way and not get all involved. Then my heart gets engaged and then it's screwed because it's balls to the walls and we're doing this. And I'm going to say what I got to say. And then you're going to wind up shocking people, right? But you have the purity with Lotus in the number 33 and you pick the number 3 and look, heart. You guys, maybe you like watch all 3 piles. And if you have, thank you so very much. I really appreciate that more than you know. But pile number 3, you have a lot of intensity. You could find, yeah, you could bring about, because with the number 33, I'm getting like finding your twin, that kind of a thing. And I'm not talking twin flame. It could be your thing. I mean, I don't know your life, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a twin flame thing, but it could be your twin, like your friend twin or your bestie twin or your gym bro twin, whatever the thing is. But it's a fact that like other people find themselves mirrored in that. And I feel like the reason why you're intimidating, or they would say you're intimidating, right? You're not intimidating, you're just you. But you're intimidating because you're going to say the thing. You're going to say a thing everybody else is thinking. You are going to speak honesty. You're going to speak out against injustice. You're going to be the one that your boss is like, oh yeah, I've always had open door policy. The hell you have? That's happened to me, by the way. Don't say it. But you're the one that people are going to look at and go, crap, what's pile number 3 going to say? People get worried about what you're going to say. And I feel like pile number 3, you're not the one to like start-ish, but you will finish-ish, right? You could be the one that maybe you were silent for a long time. Like, now I'm hearing in my brain, Tori Amos silent all these years. Maybe you held your tongue for a long, long time. And it got to a point where you had to unleash the mouth, right? I call mine the mouth because it gets me in trouble quite a bit. Reflection and mirror. What I'm telling you, you're the one that speaks truth. You help people walk through portals. You show people. You know what, though? If you had an open door policy, it would have been open. I would have been able to walk through. Or you're the one that says, you know what, though? I'm here for you. With the number 7, by the way. And you show people. Indeed, you're not. You're not here for me. You say you were. Or you hear people say, you know what, I've always been like a good parent. I've always been a good mother, a good brother, a good sister, a good mentor, and you're like, actually, no, you haven't. But with that same sharp tongue, pile number 3, I feel like you can turn it on yourself and you're like, you know what, because I haven't. You know, I've had, and I've shared this publicly before, overshared on my channel, you know, I've had to apologize to my child. And I know some people, some old school people, they're like, well, I got the title. I got the title of boss, or I got the title of applesauce, or I got the title of Peter Piper, pack the peck of pickled peppers. I don't know. But they feel burdened when you call them out. Pile number 3. Why are you intimidating? It's because you will tell people, you know what though, boss? Or you know what though, head honcho? You know what though, head chef? Whatever. You say that you are all these great things, and I love how you trot yourself up, but I want you to look around every face in this room, and everybody's holding words back that they want to say, but they're afraid to say it because you're trying to like browbeat them, or they're afraid they're going to lose their job or whatever. Tradition. I feel like you go against the grain, against tradition, and you speak on behalf of the people, or simply you just talk about the elephant in the room. You're like, nope, that dress looks like crap, dude, or yeah, dude, or whatever. You're just going to say the thing, and that's very intimidating. And you could not necessarily want to come across that way, but maybe it's like, maybe you, like me, I talk with my hands a lot. And maybe I'm just not for the public, you know, because it's like I need to kind of sit on my hands and calm down. But then I get these emotions all stirred, and it's almost like I'm Italian. I'm Italiana, which I'm not, but I feel like I'm talking with my hands. And 5 of Swords, you ain't afraid to jump into the fray. That's what I was feeling about you. Pile number 3, you are not afraid to jump into the fight. You're like, you know what, though, I guess if I get my block knocked off, it's going to get knocked off, because I'm not going to just sit around here and let things go down like this. And so you are also competition. People are intimidated by you because you're competition. And you're willing to walk away. You're willing to walk away. When the going gets tough, the tough get called out. That could be your motto. Pile number 3. Let me just pull a couple more cards, because like, don't end it on time or anything, Griselle. So why are you intimidating? Come to life, because you come to life. You could be, it's like, you know how they say, and I'm not saying you're a cell sleeper, but a sleeping cell. How do they call them? You know, those people that are like implanted throughout society and stuff, and that sleeper cells. Yeah. I'm not saying you're a sleeper cell. What I am saying is that if you're going to mind your own business, right? You're going to mind your own business, but if somebody wakes you up in the wrong way, in other words, if people get your attention in the worst way, if they're cruel to animals, if they catch you by the wayward or whatever, they're going to find you. You're going to, it's like you were a sleeper cell walking around this whole time all chill and whatever, and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, what did I unleash upon my own head? That kind of a thing. The word wants to be written with the number 42. You could have a book or 3 in you. Pile number 3, you know for a fact you got a book in you. I do too. I need to make it happen, but I'd be busy with stuff. And conscious connections. Okay, this is modest-ish. There ain't nothing showing you. So, conscious connections. Yeah, it's like you don't go about life like everybody else, like they're sleeping, even though they kind of felt like you were sleeping, but you were listening and watching the entire time. And you were evaluating, and you were surveilling the room, and you were checking things out, and you were feeling the temperature of the air, and you were feeling temperature in the water, and you're like, okay, now what's up? Immediately. That way, if you had to act, you knew you had to act, and you could act. Spirals of manifestation. Okay, so you're intimidating because you can manifest things very quickly. It doesn't take you a lot. Pile number 3. I feel like you could even do color therapy. Look, do I have it here? I don't know where I put it now. But you could do, you could drop stuff like I did. But you could do one of those like colored therapy things where you actually buy the color that you want to use for therapy. I bought some orange ones because I was going through really bad depression, and I could not get over it. I'm like, where did I put it? Sorry for my face being in your face. Look, because I have to show you my thing. Okay, I won't keep them on because the glare. But anyways, you could be somebody that you invest in you invest in things like that in order to help your mood. But you also manifest, maybe using color, maybe use lights, because I keep hearing flash lights. Maybe you know that every doorway, you can program them into being portals, especially the ones that you walk through quite a bit. What does that say? Okay. anyways, sorry I got some notification, but you are the one that you're intimidating because you can read frequency. You can read the energy in the room. Before you walk into a room, you already know them two had a fight. This one is jealous and that one is feeling butthurt. Yeah, you can read a room just like that. Also, pile number 3, I do keep saying this, but I feel like you guys are the ones that are like really telepathically connected, where people think they're like, well, what the hell? They could kind of be like, oh, how'd she know? How'd he know that I was just talking about that? Or that kind of a thing. And so it happened to be like twice in one day. And so I feel like you could be that one that you can even read it on their faces. They're like, oh, were you just thinking about that? I shared the story if you've been on my channel for a minute. A couple of weeks ago or whatever, that, you know, I was like, well, I feel like I'm going to make bread. I want to make bread, like fresh bread. I want to make it. I have these things I want to do. And you could be very impassioned and people are like, what the hell? We were just talking about making bread, or I was thinking about that, or that kind of a thing. Little coincidences that are no coincidence. Yeah. So I feel like you have a natural gift and people know that. And I'm coming undone here. I gotta go. But anyways, that's all I've got for you. Much love to you. Thank you for being on my channel. And again, if you'd like a personal reading, 15 minutes for $25 or $89 for a routine reading. Okay, about 45 minutes. So that is all I have. Again, thank you so much for your donations and all the things. Much love. Until next time, namaste.